Esben Esther, it's very, very nice to welcome you in this today interview as an elected president of the European Federation of Sexology.
Yes,
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're most welcome. I'm happy to be with you. So
it's really a great pleasure, and we are doing this recording and this interview and podcast and blog because we are so happy and really would like to congratulate and acknowledge that you are the upcoming president for the European Federation of Sexology, and also the collaboration that we have been doing for so many years, both within the context of the World Association of Sexual Health, but also with SRHM,
yes.
when beautifully during the pandemic and COVID, we thought that we need some soul food professionally and personally as well, and you graciously agreed on to be in our poetry committee. That went so well, so the collaboration is there for a while. I just would like to start with a personal question. That can you introduce yourself for our readers and listeners? That who is Esben Esther Pirelli Benestad?
Yeah. Well, I'm writing my autobiography, so, and it is 275 pages, so it's quite a lot. But to start with how I became part of the sexological world, I'm a trans-talented person who has greeted my talents welcome and made them into gifts. So I used to call myself a trans-gifted person. And in that, I became interested in psychiatry, thinking that I could find some answers to my deep, heartfelt questions, and I didn't find anything. And then I looked into sexology, and I thought, well, this is the world where I want to be. And I did some research on what was then called heterosexual transvestites in Norway, together with Berthold Grünfeldt, a Norwegian sexologist. He's dead today. But anyway, we did that research, and I was asked by Elsa Almås, a very well-known Norwegian sexologist, to present our results at the conference in Bergen. And I said yes, and I came to an auditorium in Bergen the 16th of October 1986 at 11:13, and I met Elsa Almås, and it was love by first sight. And all of a sudden, I was not only into sexology, but that was also in partnership with a person who I respect so highly. And we have had a relationship that has developed over years. It is a synergetic relationship, so that together we have produced much more than we could have done if we had done it by ourselves. So that's how I came in. And then I thought, what shall be my contribution to sexology? So I thought I shall introduce poetry to sexology, because sexuality goes much wider than physiology and biology and these things. Sexology also affects our minds and souls and our spirituality. And poetry links well into spirituality. So that's what I wanted to do. And it seems like people have noticed that. So in addition to be an academic and a medical doctor and a specialist in clinical sexology, by and by, authorized by the Nordic Association for Clinical Sexology, I have been kind of a poet in the sexological world, I hope and think.
And Esben Esther, you are the first trans identified president, not only for the European Federation of Sexology, but also in the whole world of the World Association of Sexual Health, for which the European Federation of Sexology is the regional federation for. How do you see that in terms of your lifetime, in your professional life, and where we are today in the today world? What is the relevance that, and what is the recognition that you are the upcoming, or you are the president of the federation?
I see it as a recognition of the unusual human being, represented by me, accidentally, as a trans person. And to me, it is so vital that the unusual people present themselves to the world, that they do not hide away because of shame and discrimination, but that we present ourselves. So that's our challenge. That has been my challenge. And the challenge for the world is to welcome that which is being presented by the unusual people. And being elected as a president is a welcoming gesture from the world, from the sexological world. And it is an acknowledgement of trans. And I hope it's also an acknowledgement of the whole LGBT plus population that I get this position. So I never had any ambition to be a president of anything. But being elected a president, I have a lot of ambition. And one of them is to be there and be proud of what I am, and in that way give a kind of permission to other unusual people to be proud of what they are. Because we all need someone who is up there and that we can identify with and think it was possible for Esben Esther, then it's possible for me too. Esben Esther is proud, I can be proud.
Yes.
And we need pride because there is so enormously much shame in the world concerning LGBT, and that shame is being ignited, is being nourished, and the opposition is growing, and it hurts a lot of people. So the symbolic effect of this position is vitally important. And I want ambitions too. I want sexology to be a more united field. It's a little bit too fragmented as of today. You have the medical, you have the ISSM, the ESSM, which is a very medically influenced. And then you have the WAS, that is more sociological, maybe more psychologically influenced. And sexology is far too medical to be left to the psychologist and the sociologist, and far too psychological and sociological to be left to the medical field.
These thoughts are leading me to our last question, that is really about that in terms of sexual health, transgender health and well-being of LGBTI individuals, but also those who are living with disability, the sex workers, and those who are facing migration and war. Yes. We are in a very turbulent world. There are great achievements around the world, not only backward steps, there are also positive steps. It is an interesting world if you look at it, and changing politically. How do you see the opportunities and challenges in your upcoming presidency, and what your strategies and plans are that you would like to put forward?
Yeah, I told about fragmentation between sexuality as a medical, psychological, and sociological, and for that matter, theological. But there is also a fragmentation within all the marginalized groups. And sometimes those groups are set up against each other. So what is important for me is to see the common denominator of need in groups and people who in different ways are marginalized, discriminated, not listened to, talked about, but not talked with. And to me, that is so, there are so many things that are mutual for marginalized groups that we could work much better together, I think. And that will also be part of my ambition to have to work against discrimination, to work against the marginalization of people, to work against the thought that some people are better than other people.
And how do you see that the sexual health professionals, however you define sexual health professional, we talked about that you see a much broader definition for sexual health professionals, can play a key important role in this?
Because we represent something that everybody, just about everybody, needs, have experience with, can reach happiness through, and can be very hurt by. Even the most fundamentalistic, discriminating people have a sexuality. Even the most discriminated people may have children who are disabled, who become marginalized in some ways. People are born into societies that are so totally different from what I have experienced in my life. I've been so privileged living in a rich country, and there are so many people out there, and I don't know how to solve that. But I think that we should always keep in mind, have we invited those who should have been invited? Have we given a cheer to those who have something to say? Have we listened to what they say? Can we ask people of all kinds about their wishes and their needs, and believe that they tell us the truth about that? Or should we go on saying that we know better than you what needs and wishes you have? In a way, it sounds, should I say? It's very nice to say that. It sounds nice. In practice, it's a tremendous work. I was once asked by a Hindu why I have chosen to come to the world. That's Hindu thinking, in reincarnation. And I said, I'm here to assist people in seeing their inner beauty. And people who are discriminated, who are told that they are not as good as other people are, they will have great problems seeing their inner beauty, because that beauty is not mirrored by the society that surrounds them or by the institutions that surrounds them. So if I could contribute to more people being aware of other people's inner beauty, I can sleep well at night.
And I mean, you are a poet, and we got used to that in professional settings. In most serious discussions, you are always coming in with the heart in the presentation, in panel discussions, with a poem of yours. So can you please offer us a poem at the end of the interview?
Yeah, I have one called A Better World. I have been told I live a sin by those who claim to know. I should obey what I'm in, just be my genitals somehow. My childhood was not understood. They almost took my sanity away. They made me feel like nothing good until one shiny day, when those who had told lies on me, who sang the sickening song, who made it hard for me to be, they had been proven wrong. So, do I know of their remorse? No, not one single thing. They should apologize, of course, but that's for them to bring. I shall go on and live as me, let love and beauty in, and those who still might disagree, they make an awful sin. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you for the interview, and we wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you.